Hi, what up, y'all? Planet of Fakes here, and I just want to correct Young Pharaoh. He got these riots totally wrong, and I don't understand how anybody could not say fuck the police. Fuck the police. You understand? But again, Young Pharaoh, I don't know why he's not teaching his followers that states and cities are foreign companies, not American places. My only guess is the fact that he was on probation for the city of Buffalo. So, of course, he's going to continue to act like Buffalo's an American place. It's not. He's misleading his followers, whether it's deliberate or by accident or by mistake or by an agenda. States and cities are not places, they are foreign companies, meaning they came from somewhere else, opened up shop here, and now black people pretending to live in people's companies. This is why you don't have American rights, because you're living in people's companies. And as soon as you come out the womb, your parents register you to a foreign company to grow up, use their foreign name in order to interact and do business in their corporate society, which has nothing to do with America. This is why it's called the United States of America, because they created those companies so foreigners can come here and get the benefits, privileges, and immunities that almost equal to the American rights. But with privileges, benefits, and immunities coming from a foreign company, they could take it away from you anytime in order to make profit. That's why people on curfew now. You see how they took all your rights away? So you won't stop their profits. And if you think they're not making money, or if you staying at home, they're making tons of money from you staying at home. You don't think stocks are falling? You don't think they bet against those stocks? But anyway, Young Pharaoh, he knows all about aliens and all his six neutrons and six protons equal blackness. Let's listen to how he got all of this wrong.
I don't want y'all to think I'm saying fuck the police. I'm not. Hear me clear. They put these deep state motherfuckers in law enforcement to incite and instigate violence and mistrust between the citizens and law enforcement.
All right, let's pause it. People and citizen is two different things. We all know people created the Constitution. The Constitution is the contract between the United States and the people that was on America. And the United States promised the people that it won't violate the people's rights. But in the creation of the United States needed workers, they needed laborers, and all this other stuff. So they created the U.S. citizen. Now, Americans did not have to become a U.S. citizen because we already had rights. Citizenship was mainly for people that would come to America or was on America and didn't have rights. This is why black people lined up in groves to become U.S. citizens, because at the time, the colonies were not treating black people as equals. You understand? They was treating them less than men. So the District of Columbia, which is the capital of the foreign company, and that's why it's a district. District means company, not place. So why is the United States capital a foreign district? Because it's a foreign company. So they came up with the idea and said, hey, we're going to create U.S. citizens, and black people come become citizens, and we're going to make sure you get all the benefits, privileges, and immunities of white citizens, which was a trick statement, because in law, there is no black man and there is no white man. It's just man. So every time black people use the word black in court, you're not going to get no justice or rights, really, due to the fact that's made up. There's no such thing as colored people. So the fact that he's always bringing up this blackness and having people call themselves black, you tricking them into never having rights. You're just a man. And once you get a court to say a man don't have a right to life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness, that's it. We could dissolve the United States, because that was their whole agenda. But as long as y'all make up these fictional characters like aboriginal, indigenous, black man, African American, U.S. citizen, you're not going to get no rights, because those are made up corporate terms in their business. And Americans don't go to their corporate courts anyway. That's a conflict of interest. They're biased. They're for the company. So why would they look out for people that's not in the company? And why would they look out for people that's in their company illegally, like Young Pharaoh? He's telling people he lives in Buffalo. Buffalo was a foreign company. The entire police force just quit because two So-called cops push down a 75-year-old man. But let's continue.
And then they're going to use that to create riots like they just did. And then they're going to use the riots to enact martial law. And then they're going to use martial law to bring in the New World Order. So it's not fuck all of...
Let's pause because they don't have to bring in the New World Order. The New World Order was tricking black people into thinking states and cities were places and that they brought them from Africa as slaves. So he already promotes black people was brought from Africa, which we wasn't. You understand that? And he promotes being a U.S. citizen. You understand? But you got to realize he's on YouTube, a monetized platform, is but so much he can say and still make money. You understand? But he has brought no solutions to black people as long as he's been doing this. And he's been doing this since Sandra Bland. That's how he got famous, by using Sandra Bland's name. You understand? And there's no shots against him, but everything he's saying is totally wrong. He said the martial law part, he got that from Alex Jones. We all know that already. What did he do for his people all these years to prepare them? He didn't teach them what states and cities are because he's simply still pretending he lives in Buffalo. I challenge any of y'all, go ask Young Pharaoh what the city of Buffalo is and tell him to give you a receipt. He can't, and he won't. Because he needs you to believe states and cities are places, and y'all keep sending him United States dollars in his Cash App and donations to do nothing but trick y'all into being foreign citizens, because the U.S. is a foreign company. That's why we call it the U.S. of A and not the U.S. is A. But all his followers and what he's teaching them, the United States is America, which is a lie. But also I want y'all to pay attention to how all these pro-blacks, when the U.S. do something to them, they come on these platforms and say it's America. The only reason they say America is doing something to y'all because the foreigners need black people to hate America but love their foreign state, love their foreign city, and never say anything bad about the U.S. And this is why they always say America and have y'all thinking that the America is doing shit to y'all. America's keeping y'all alive because your rights come from America. Those benefits, privileges, and immunities that they're taking away from y'all, they come from the United States. It's treason. And he's setting y'all up to be killed for treason. Not him particularly, but he's not helping y'all to understand that states and cities are foreign companies and not American places. No matter what they do to y'all, y'all still calling them government, and they're not a government because corporations can't be government. They're owned by men that don't pretend to live in them and damn sure don't call them government. But your dumbasses sitting there pretending to live in foreign companies and calling them government, which is ignorant. So he's spreading ignorance.
The police. You have to realize the police have been infiltrated. Now, if you don't believe me, look at the police tearing their own shit up.
All right. The police have not been infiltrated. The police is a foreign agency. Police stands for policy officers because they're upholding the policies of the United States corporation, the state corporation, the city corporation, the town corporation. That's why y'all call it police, but they're actually policy enforcement. See? And they're enforcing because they're going to take over America fully and bring in full communism where they're going to orderly exterminate people just like they had to do in Germany. A lot of people don't know. The people in Germany had to die because the country was in debt. And each birth certificate is connected to the debt. So every time they get rid of a birth certificate, meaning get rid of a man or a woman, their debt goes down because they no longer owe for that bond. Same thing here in America. Y'all owe the world $24 trillion. Your birth certificate is worth millions. Once they kill you, that's off the market. That's one less million they owe. Because there's foreigners getting paid off for each birth certificate bond. And that's why people are retarded for pretending to live in the United States, and somebody asks you what a state is, you can't even tell them. I don't care if people don't believe me or not. I'm going to watch y'all get orderly exterminated with your own consent because you calling your killers government.
Cops are breaking their own car, and they're going to blame it on the protesters.
I've been showed that. I don't want to hear that. I want to hear him say that this is the Illuminati. If y'all been following people like Young Pharaoh for years and all they could tell you is it's the Illuminati and all that, stop following them. Because telling people that the Illuminati's doing this ain't saving their lives. And he got the word to use, psyop. No. Living in United States, foreign companies, pretending they're American places because you scared of them, that's the psyop, Young Pharaoh.
Don't come protect the undercovers while the undercovers Make everybody hate and dislike everybody. And then they're going to use that motherfucking chaos to their advantage to...
And no, they're not going to, they don't have to use none of that. If they wanted today, they could come and arrest every U.S. citizen for trespassing. Y'all living in foreign companies and don't even know their companies. You're trespassing. And I tell people to always look up the Trading with the Enemy Act. In that act, it says every U.S. citizen is an enemy. And they had to create an act in order to do business with U.S. citizens because they're enemies. Y'all trying to overthrow America by pretending the United States is America. The United States is not America. Why the F do you think we call it the United States of America? Nobody would believe the Bank of America is America. So I try to ask Young Pharaoh and Sonetta, all these pro-blacks that I don't get along with, why y'all still teaching black people the United States is America? It's because they sellouts, they're traitors, and they're ignorant.
Create anarchy. Huh? And now that they got everybody hating everybody, then they tell everybody to blame that shit on Trump. And they're trying to use Donald Trump as a muse and a scapegoat to create anarchy in this country and bring this country down. And when everybody tear this motherfucker to the ground, they are then going to bring in the military that they got in their back pocket. Okay? And I don't want nobody to say they can't do it because they sent General Flynn to jail. He's a 3-star military general, and they lied on that man and set that man up. So if you don't think these motherfuckers infiltrated the goddamn military, you better think again. Now, this is proof that these motherfuckers is paid by George Soros. Watch this.
A woman sort of facetiously asked if there were any paid protesters in the House. And of course, everybody shouted no and groaned. But you...
And think about it. George Soros is a foreigner. So you mean to tell me these fake American/U.S. citizens are going to take money from a foreigner to tear their own land up? No. But they will take money from a foreigner thinking they're doing something good for America, which they're not. The United States is not America.
Stood up and indicated that you are a paid protester. What did you mean by that?
Now, this nigga admitted that he was a paid protester. Now, watch this.
Well, I meant, like, we all get paid to be...
I don't want y'all to think I infiltrated every layer of...
And this is the lie right here. He's telling you the Illuminati infiltrated every layer of the United States. It's a lie. The United States is a foreign company from the beginning. Just because they've been acting like their places and black people trust the news to say, oh, today it's 78 degrees in Buffalo, and you got the Buffalo Bills football team. All that shit is to trick you and to have you bond with the foreign company. Because now that you see sports team and actors acting like they live in Buffalo and you ain't doing nothing with your life, you got to act like you live in Buffalo and you're contributing to it. And you pretending to live in Buffalo, when they bring down the hammer and hold all of y'all for treason, you're going to be guilty because your whole life they got a record of you pretending Buffalo's a place when Buffalo's not a place. You're not supposed to be following TV. You're not supposed to be following celebrities. And who the F would trust state education if you never learn what a state is? Young Pharaoh and a lot of other people been raised off of state education. So think about this. He's representing Buffalo. He got a state education. He's sitting here supposedly enlightening thousands of people a day. And when you ask Young Pharaoh, what is the state of Buffalo with a receipt, he's not going to tell you. And that's why y'all going to basically get put in FEMA camps, because y'all sitting here in somebody's foreign company trying to assert American rights, and y'all not even Americans. Y'all U.S. citizens, period. And I told people this. The United States ain't nothing but a foreign company. Don't think the United States started here. It did not. States are all over the world. This is how you know a state ain't American. If states were American, they would only be on America. This is how you know people stupid, and I don't even care if y'all like me or don't like me. People dying because they don't know what states and cities are, and y'all continuing to teach them that ignorance. But like I was saying, the United States is the fast food of municipalities. What is a municipality? A municipality is a corporation. So now that this municipality, fast food, we might as well say, opened up on the U.S., it expands, and now it opened up on Hawaii. The difference between Americans and Hawaii is the United States, because they know that the United States is not Hawaii and Hawaii is not the United States. The United States is just a municipality in charge of their resources and land distribution. You understand? The same thing here. Only thing the United States is responsible for is land distribution and the handing out of resources and the controlling of resources. This is why they consider their citizens human resources. Now that they consider their citizens human resources, they have a legal right to control y'all. This is why the police is here, because as long as you're pretending to live in their companies, you're their property. And the Constitution says that people have a right to their property. Every U.S. citizen is a property of the United States foreign corporation posing as America to act like your government. Now, black man, I ask you, if a state is not a physical place you can't be in, how the fuck are you in the States? And think about it. If U.S. citizenship was such a good thing, black people wouldn't be automatically born U.S. citizens. You see, we can't even get justice, and that's because you're a U.S. citizen. You're in their company, and nobody's going to hire their company employees to find out the company's doing wrong to pay a whole bunch of people that don't belong in the company in the first place. This is why black people are delusional, and you're going to lose your lives like you've been losing them, because the United States is not America, and you're engaged in treason every time you act like the United States is America. And I always tell people, go Google misprision, misprision. Every U.S. citizen is guilty of that. And the only reason they're bringing in the National Guard and like stuff like that, they want y'all to already think that it's legal for them to have an army here. I tell you, in 5 years from now, people will be on curfew every day, and they'll be running up in people's gates, pulling out the men, separating the women, separating the children. Pedophilia will be legal. All of that will be legal. You know why? Because it's their company, and there are no Americans. Because just like Young Pharaoh, all the U.S. citizens know is the U.S. So they're not on here claiming land rights and claiming your companies. Young Pharaoh is never going to tell a cop, you can't do shit to me because Buffalo's a foreign company and I'm on America, because he's too busy pretending to live in Buffalo, and he's just telling black people it's the Illuminati. Pharaoh, people been telling the black it was Illuminati before you use Sandra Bland's name to continue to misinform people. So you need to just wake up and stop supporting that U.S. is America bullshit, man.
These people were not doing nothing. They were peacefully protesting. And these motherfuckers is instigating violence. Look at this nigga. Look at this nigga. Look at this agent. Look at him. All of this shit is from over the weekend. The nigga got a vest.
Young Pharaoh's an agent for the United States Corporation. I can't trust Young Pharaoh because Young Pharaoh trusts the state, and he doesn't know what a state is. Despite saying all this stuff about state agents, he still don't know what a state is. And if you go look at his videos, he's going to say this is America. He's going to say these are American police violating you. No, United States agents are not American agents. America don't have agents. America don't have a government, because each American is the king and queen of their selves. And as long as you don't violate our rights, it ain't none of our business. And right now, my rights ain't violated. I come and go as I please, during curfew or not.
Let me zoom in. He got a vest on, okay? He got a wire hanging out his shirt. He got handcuffs in his back pocket, okay? And he got the thin blue bracelet to let other police officers, just like this one right here, know that they're undercover agents. Look at these motherfuckers. Look. Now look at this nigga. Look at this nigga. Where they get one of these from? What protester you know out there with a goddamn CIA headpiece? This the shit that the goddamn Secret Service have when they protecting Trump. Where the fuck he get one of these from? So the deep state is real. It's not a fucking fantasy. Freemasons are real. It's not a fucking fantasy. They have infiltrated every layer of this motherfucking country, and they are using.
Country means company. Why would the Illuminati have to infiltrate the company that they created and people like Young Pharaoh been tricked to believe they live in? All this could stop overnight by asking the police, by asking the mayor, by asking the president, by asking any U.S. employee what a state is. If they can't tell you, go on Facebook Live and air them out. You know why? They're going to go to jail because that's treason. You can't work for a state and not know what a state is. You can't live in a state and not know what a state is. You can't let a state kill you and not know what a state is. And that's exactly what Young Pharaoh, all these other pro-blacks, and even the non-black people are tricking you. They're tricking you to believe the United States is America and the United States could do anything it wants to Americans. It cannot. The United States can only do anything it wants to U.S. citizens because they're not alive. Because live people can't live in made-up places. States and cities are fictional places. And I ask people, if the United States was established in 1776, where did people live in 1775? You know they're not going to answer because they're traitors. And this is why they're orderly exterminating y'all now, and they're going to continue. And anyway, I got my receipt on what Buffalo is. Go ask Young Pharaoh what Buffalo is. With that being said, what you heard and saw was the content. For additional content, click the link in the description. Like, follow, share, subscribe, comment. Hit the bell, visit my community wall, and if you have time, go to www.amore-eka.com/TV. That's our Planet of the Fakes too. We are the new umbrella, Planet of.